Scott, can you come back? Scott, look. First, I have to say, look, I want to talk to you. Yeah, we'll ignore. We'll ignore.
I got my Jeanne blinders on. Got my Jeanne blinders.
Bill, one of the questions I've always...
No sunglasses, but blinders. Is that close enough for you, Jeanne?
You know, one of the questions I've always wanted to ask you, which I thought was very iconic, you and Grapes together, when you guys were hugging.
Favorite moments ever. It's actually probably the most Canadian thing I've ever done.
How did that all come about?
Well, we were making the show, and it was the first, I guess it was the first or second, it was just the beginning of Ralph Ben-Murgy when they were trying to do a Canadian talk show. And people thought it would, and he'd been making a lot of comments about manliness and all that sort of thing. So they thought it'd be funny to put us together. And at the time, it was like very much more polarized world than today. And in that time, Don Cherry's sentiments were much more the norm than mine. But I had a feeling it would go well because I actually think that deep beneath that crusty exterior beats a real heart. And I always kind of like the guy. And I like people that just are off the cuff. And I think Canadian show business needs more people that are like that. So when they met, it kind of started to go badly. But then I think what was fascinating about Don Cherry was he could sense that he was trying to give me Gina shade. And he knew that the audience wasn't buying it. And he made this mental shift. And I think it was brilliant what he did. He just shifted and went, oh, the tide is turning. And he went with that tide. And then we bonded over the fact, because I did this little routine about how the European fags were no good in the corners and they could not punch. And then he realized that I was a real fighter, like a real pugilist. And I think he respected me. Because I'm a fighter. I can't skate, I can't shoot, I can't stick handle, but I'm a bitch in the corners.
I got one more question. Back in the day with Kids in the Hall and Codco, I mean, you guys were both changing things up. Why did you guys ever team together and do something together on television?
What do you mean?
Did you guys do something together?
What are you talking about? You mean Kids in the Hall?
Kids in the Hall and Codco.
Oh, us! Well, the truth is, Tommy died. People have forgotten that Tommy Sexton died. He died of HIV many, many years ago, and no one's given him... He died. And that was part of it. And then Codco was really no more, in a way. I mean, it really wasn't... That wasn't really the reason. They weren't on long enough for it to happen, I don't think. They were on like 2 or 3 years, and then it sort of morphed into 22 minutes and all the rest of it. And I think that I think it's also geography. They were out in the East Coast. We were here. That might have been part of it. But I really would have loved to have done something with them because I consider them a genius group.
I consider both of you guys where you always guys battle it out with the awards and everything.
Yeah. I really... Has Codco got a Walk of Fame star?
Not yet.
They need to. And I mean, yeah, and Tommy needs to be remembered. He was way ahead of his time. And he was a brilliant, funny man.
Thank you so much for this.
Thank you.